All right, we are back for the next group of the day. It is going to be Group D here in the TLS Season 2 round of 24. And for those of you wondering, there have been no fewer than 3 substitutions, player substitutions in this group. The original group was Dodi, Alfio, Nemu, and TechnicS. All but TechnicS were subbed out for various reasons. So we now have Assault, TechnicS, Malkia, and Cryok. Of course, Assault, Cryok, and Malkia were the next 3 points rankings players. That came out weird, but anyway. So they've been subbed in, and that means we have 1 Terran and 3 Zerg players. Of course, Cryok, the lone Terran player, probably quite happy actually about having this situation where he only has to play TVZ. So yeah, it should be very interesting. But before I go on into too much detail, first I would like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Razer and Twitch TV. They are our lovely sponsors, allowing all of this to happen, providing a very generous prize pool. It is a $500 prize pool for each of the regular TLS seasons, and a $2,000 championship prize pool at the end for Season 4. So that's gonna be very exciting. And of course, Team Liquid is super awesome. I got the shirt, I got the poster. See plenty of branding everywhere. It's awesome. Yeah. Although, you know, on the other hand, I actually just wear like my TL shirts everywhere. I wear them to work and stuff too, and it's really awesome because like there's a few, because like I work at like a tech company, so there's like a lot of fairly young guys there, and a few of them know StarCraft. I have like some fans in the office, which is amazing. It's like a couple of guys who watch the cast and stuff, and you know, and talk to me about the games. So that's good stuff. I highly recommend everybody wear, you know, their T-shirt, their TL shirts, or other esports apparel everywhere, and just like talk to people about it. Spread the word. You know, like pretend you're Jehovah's Witnesses, except people actually care about what you're talking about. That kind of thing. Oh man, am I allowed to say that? Whatever. Anyway, okay, Group D. Group D, yes. So I would say a big favorite in this group is TechnicS. You know, by many accounts, one of the best foreigners, if not the best, besides Siki, although obviously it's hotly contested. But I would definitely rank him as, you know, one of the maybe top 3 Zergs besides Siki. And on the other hand, the other 3 are probably, you know, not what you would normally consider the strongest of foreigner players, but Cryok in particular has been making some pretty big splashes recently, has a monstrous like 8-2 record in Gambit's Cup, which is the foreigner pro league essentially. And it's done pretty well in the TLS qualifiers. I mean, he barely didn't qualify. He was like 10th when we took 9 players, so he just barely didn't make it out, although luckily has managed to scrape in here. And Assault and Malkia, you know, I would say kind of middle tier Zerg players. Assault is not bad, but he didn't get a single vote here, a single TLS staff pick vote. And a lot of people were kind of bashing him in the threads, which was not very nice. So it might be karma if he does actually make it out of the group. I personally am really hoping Cryok makes it out, because I think this guy is a really cool up and comer. But anyway, let us just go on to game number 1. Assault versus TechnicS. It's gonna be a ZVZ on Neo Jade, and hopefully will be as exciting as the last one we watched. So here we go. Whoops. What am I doing here? Okay, whew, man. Whoa. Alright. Anyway, at the bottom right is the Yellow Zerg. We do have Assault. And at the top, what? TechnicS. Oh man, everything's going crazy today. Alright, at the top right, as the orange Protoss, we have TechnicS, and Assault immediately suspicious. TechnicS, bro, why are you playing Protoss? Now, for anyone who didn't know, TechnicS, of course, actually has a very strong Protoss play. It's technically his off race, but I mean, you know, I've actually, well, let's put it this way. In last season at TLS, he got to the finals of Qualifier 1 and decided to play off race against Eonzorg and just play PvZ against him in the best of 3 finals of that qualifier. So, yeah, he's pretty confident. And that makes things so much more interesting, I think. Yeah. Now, on the other hand, Assault, I actually saw him playing some games on, I think, on Busy's stream the other day, because they are both on Team Pain. And to be honest, he wasn't very good. I mean, I don't really know how to say it nicely, but like he played a PvZ on, ZVP on Fighting Spirit against Fabian Su, who is kind of like a B-ish Protoss player, and just wasn't very impressive at all. It was really funny because like his teammates were just completely ragging on him in the in the chat. Not in all chat, but they were just like talking to each other like, God, what happened to Assault? You know, he used to be good ZVP and now he's terrible and atrocious. So, you know, if his teammates can say that, then I'm just gonna say it too. I'm just quoting them. So yeah, let's see how he does against TechnicS. It'd be pretty hilarious if TechnicS just off-races his way through this group. I saw some people actually jokingly saying in the chat earlier that TechnicS would just 2-0 his group with his off-race, but it's looking like it might just happen here. Of course, the game's only just started, so who knows exactly how well this is going to go for TechnicS, but I mean, I guess since he's Zerg, he knows all the most annoying things that Protoss do against him, so he knows what to do. Anyway, he's gone for Forge Nexus, seeing his opponent go for the 12 hatch. It's pretty normal here. He's going to do the good old easy wall here on Neo Jade. And having a quick gander at the minerals, it does look like this is the correct version of Jade, not the wrong version hosted by Draw last week. That was pretty funny. So, looks like we got the gas actually going to finish just about the same time as the third base. So, slightly quick gas, but not too crazy. It's not going for some kind of weird 2-edge build or anything like that. And on the other hand, we just do see the standard wall going up here. Just a single cannon so far. Doesn't really need the second cannon with such a nice tight wall here. You can just block that with a couple of probes. And we do in fact only see 2 Zerglings coming out. So just 2 Zerglings to chase the probe, and the rest just in drones. Assault doesn't really want to make too many Zerglings here. Nothing, it's kind of hard to do anything with them on this map. I mean, technically, because the ramp is like on this side of the gap, you can maybe go for some run-bys, but again, it's just so easy to block, and because TechnicS is scouting everything with a scouting probe, it's very unlikely that early links will do too much here in this situation. Although, I think, didn't we see a game between, like, Enjoy Me and somebody? Yeah, last week I think we saw Enjoy Me versus somebody on this map for some Zerg. It might have been Cozy, where he just instantly died to a run-by. It's quite funny. but that was, I think, because he pulled his scouting probe away and did something else or something. Anyway, Lair is on the way. Probe gonna see this third hatchery. Everything as normal. And let's see what TechnicS does here. It's actually quite interesting how a lot of Zerg players seem to have really good Protoss off-race. Like, I know Siki actually has extremely strong Protoss as well, almost to the point where he can actually play against TechnicS' Zerg almost evenly. And I do believe that Jadong was supposed to have very strong Protoss, if I'm not mistaken. I could be getting it mixed up with some other player, but I'm fairly sure I heard somewhere that, or there was some interview with some player who said that Jadong has amazingly good Protoss. Anyway. See, clearly Zerg players are all they secretly want to be Protoss, but, they've all strayed to the dark side. Anyway, looks like one random Zella gonna run here from TechnicS. Not really gonna be able to do too much with these Zerglings out, but gonna get a full scout off at least, which is quite handy. And trying to kill a drone, not quite managing it. Nice little pull there from Assault. Meanwhile, though, second Zealot's come over here to the third base, and all the Zerglings are on the wrong side of the map. Looks like they do have speed, though. Do they have speed? Yeah, looks like they have speed. So should be able to get over here ASAPly, although looks like Assault, is he gonna lose a drone? Nope. Another good drone pull and run away. Alright, should be fine. Meanwhile, though, looks like half of the links are going to defend against the Zealot. The other half are going to do some kind of interception here. Yeah, look at that. Gonna perfectly intercept another Zealot here from TechnicS. I don't know if that's just an accident, like they were gonna go counterattack, or if he or if he did that on purpose, but nice little move there from Assault. And actually, so 3 Zealots so far from TechnicS have just killed a single Zergling. That is it. You might get a second Zergling here. So 3 Zealots for 2 Zerglings. That's obviously a horrendous trade, money-wise. The only thing he got was he got a bit of scouting. He did force like 8 or 10 lanes, and forced a few random drone pulls, but I don't know if that's really worth it for those 3 Zealots. In the meantime, he's going to get the first Overlord kill here, and that's fine. Ooh, looks like he even blocked with a probe here just since he was losing all those Zealots. Was a little bit concerned about that. Meanwhile, we do see the additional hatcheries going up for Assault here. Going up to 5 hatch, playing it very normally here. Presumably just going to get some Scourge to deal with the initial Corsair, and then be nice and happy on the 5 base. Of course, doing this kind of SimCity is not as easy as it is on some maps. You can see there's still a bit of a gap here. He didn't even build these buildings touching each other. But yeah, you can't do the nice like hatchery to hatchery wall that you can on Fighting Spirit because it's a little bit further away. But you can still do a bit of a semi-wall in there. And TechnicS doesn't look like he's doing any kind of crazy fast +1 Zealot aggression or anything like that. He hasn't even got speed yet, which is a bit strange to me. I don't know if it's finished already or what's up. I don't think it's finished though. So he's just getting it fairly late here. Although I guess actually getting Storm first. I mean, if he's just going to turtle up here and not move out for a long time, it doesn't really matter. I think that's actually fine. So it looks like DT is going to push these Zerglings away. That was actually really fast reaction time, by the way, from Assault, and just going to pull one Zergling to block the third and pull the rest away. You know, because you don't get a warning message when the DT one-shots a unit, or, well, any unit in Brood War, if you one-shot something, there's no message that, you know, your forces are under attack. So it's actually very easy for Zerg to just lose all of his Zerglings there if he's not paying attention. But, you know, Assault doing a good job there, keeping most of them alive. That's often one of those, like, small indicators of a really good player, if they can do that. You know, it's just those little things that can actually make the difference, really. Anyway, we do have the 4th base going up for Assault. I am not really overly pleased by his SimCitying, though. He's got a lot of gaps everywhere, as you can see. Nothing is Zealot tight, and, you know, it's like, the arrangement looks really weird to me. But, I mean, I guess since TechnicS isn't doing any kind of plus speed lot, he's not really going to punish it. I mean, it just looks weird, doesn't it? It just looks kind of crazy. Anyway. Do have a probe going out here, but of course there was a Zergling. Although it might just get blocked. Yeah, probe's just going to stay on the side. Oh, should stay just out of range of that Zergling. Yep, as long as you don't aggro it, you're fine. Zerglings also have not the greatest sight range, although it looks like a couple of Scourge are going to see the probe, actually. But we got a few slow Zealots moving out just to take care of that. Looks like speed now done. Storm should be done as well. So TechnicS is going to go ahead and get that third. Getting an Archon as well right now. Actually, is he going to get a second one? I don't think he should, because he researched Storm. Yeah, okay, he's just going to get the one Archon. A little bit curious to me, is he a little bit scared of some delayed mutas? That is fairly popular nowadays, to go for a turtle up, you know, get a fast 4th base and go for sort of delayed mutalisks, but it doesn't look like Assault's doing that. He has just gotten Hydras. Meanwhile, we do see a 3rd base going up now for TechnicS. So yeah, very calm game so far. Neither player making any moves here in the early game. Both just going to go skip straight to the mid game. And this is interesting because, oh, we do actually have +1 carapace, so there could actually be mutas. No, is he just scared of Corsairs? Why is he scared of Corsairs? There's only like one. I'm a little bit confused by this +1 carapace, air carapace actually. I'm not 100% sure. Because it doesn't look like he's saving money for mutas, so I don't really know what that's for. And there haven't really been that many indications that there's a lot of Corsairs. Well, I guess it's 4 Corsairs. Is he still making them? He's not still making them. He did get 4. They don't have an upgrade, but I guess with 4 Corsairs, okay, I guess you can sort of justify that, yeah. Because you're not really sure if they're actually getting the upgrade and continue making them. Sorry, I didn't actually see where all these Corsairs were. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. But the bigger issue for me, though, is that, of course, again, the 4th base on this map, pretty difficult to take, especially for Protoss against Zerg. So yeah, TechnicS, now that he's got his 3 bases up, he's going to have to really make some moves with his army now. Can't just sit around easily and wait around. Anyway, he's making a move here on the natural, but there's so many Hydras back here with a semi-decent SimCity that seems rather dangerous. Storming his own Corsairs, actually, as well as a bunch of Hydras. He's going in here. Is it going to work? I don't know. It's looking actually pretty close. There's some good storms. Storming the drones as well, but I think by using that storm on the drones, it's going to mean he doesn't have enough oomph to actually pick off the rest of the Zerg units. And yeah, more Hydras coming in the back. are going to be able to clean this up. So even though he got a good amount of Hydra kills as well as some drones, TechnicS has just sacrificed his initial army here for what I don't think was worth it. I really think he should have just saved it. I mean, the thing is, right, his third base only just started mining, so his army was actually relatively weak at this stage in the game. You see, he didn't have a huge number of gateways yet. You know, he had gone for a fast third. He just overall did not have a very big army to move out with, and I don't know why he decided to move out that time. Maybe he was just hoping that the Zerg was also very weak, having gone from a fast fourth, but you know, because the Zerg was in a defensive posture anyway, he was able to hold that off, and I think that was not a very good decision at all. It did look for a second like he might break through, but oh man, not a good idea to sacrifice your Protoss army in PvZ at any time, especially not your initial group of units like that. And we do have some lurkers on the way. At least he's not going to get contained in his natural here. He does have control of this high ground area. But otherwise, you know, still doing a good job. We got some Scourge here to intercept any shuttles that come in for any kind of drops. You can see getting another Evo chamber. Should have 3 now. Yeah, looks like that's his 3rd Evo chamber. Don't know if he's intentionally gone for triple upgrades or he just forgot he had one already. It looks like we do have just a pure Zealot drop coming in here, but that looks like it's very likely just going to get Scourged immediately. And in the meantime, a lot of Hydras moving out to get ready to attack the Protoss army, which is very small here. It's got a good number of High Templar, and it looks like, oh man, the Scourge barely missed the shuttle here. They're going to look for it now, but a bit unfortunate there for Assault. He's making a stun colony in his base though, and it looks like, oh man, huge storm on the Hydras though. Can we get some good storms? All the Hydras are clumped. Oh my god, Assault! Assault is all clumped up here. Oh man, that did not go well. That did not go as planned here. So even though the Protoss army is ridiculously small, it looks like it did a good amount of damage, but it looks like the Zealot drop in the main base is doing way more damage than it should as well. Assault getting a little bit frazzled by the multitask here. Not able to control his army as well as defend the drop in the main. It looks like Assault actually is pretty far behind in the supply as well. 72 supply against 133 here. Meanwhile, did that shuttle actually get taken down? It looks like the shuttle got taken down, but look at this. TechnicS using all of the confusion to actually go set up a 4th base at the top left natural. So I think that's like a really good idea here. Even though he doesn't really have a standing army, he doesn't really have map control, just because, you know, there's so much going on the map, and Assault doesn't have a nice little patrolling Zergling or a couple of Overlords there. He's taking advantage of that and getting a hidden base, and that's really going to pay off eventually. Because I don't think this attack from Assault is really gonna kill TechnicS. You know, he's doing a good job picking off these High Templar, but he doesn't have very many lurkers. He's only got the 2 in the back, and has kind of started to run out of Hydras as well here. Although it looks like TechnicS has also run out of Storm, so he's starting to lose some more units. But take a look at what's going on in the Zerg bases. Looks like he's got a decent number of hatcheries. Not the greatest drone saturation though, and again, you know, he's pretty far behind in supply compared to the Protoss. And it looks like now with the first observer, TechnicS is going to move out and clear out the lurkers that are blocking his 3rd base from everything else here. You can see he's got his base going up at the top with plenty of cannons. Might even make an extra gateway here or something so he can build some High Templar as well instead of having to move across all the way across there from his main base. Not that many gateways still. I would have liked at least a couple more gateways going up, especially with that 4th base. Once he starts mining from that, he's going to have a ton of income here. You know, going off 4 base against a 4 base Zerg will be really, really nice, but he needs to be able to keep up that production. If he doesn't add additional gateways, he could easily find himself banking a lot of money that he just cannot spend. You know, not because he doesn't have good macro, but just because he doesn't have the infrastructure to actually make stuff with. He just doesn't have enough gateways. And it looks like a few probes are going to transfer there over as well, just taking a slight risk. Oh my god, he's making so many cannons. For some reason, they're all powered by 1 pylon, though, which is slightly concerning. Okay, even though the second one there. But that is a lot of cannons. Which is good. I like cannons. I am a huge fan of cannons. Meanwhile, Stormdrop actually running around with the army here. It should be a drop, but looks like for the time being, he's just going to chill with the army, because Assault actually has been pretty active about having Scourge in lots of places around the map to block these shuttles. So TechnicS maybe going to try and clear a path using his army and then go for the drop. And by keeping it with his army, it also sort of fakes out the Zerg. So if Assault sees this, he might be like, oh, if there's a shuttle with the army, like, does he have Reavers in it? You know, do I have to be that much more careful? Assault, by the way, is just staying on Mass Hydra, which seems very dangerous here. I don't know why he's not getting more lurkers. He seems to be really low on gas, actually. He's not actually mining the 3 on here. He's only got 1 guy on that gas. I mean, that might partly be why, but pure Hydra mid-game is risky. You can do it, but you have to have really good arcs and really good storm dodging. And eventually you have to go lurkers anyway. I mean, once the armies get to a certain size, it's just not efficient to only make Hydras. It's basically, it doesn't matter how good your storm dodging is. If you have like 60 Hydras, it's just almost impossible. It's basically impossible to dodge all the storms, and then you just can't deal with it. He has made a few mutas to try and snipe the High Templar. Whoops. Because of the scroll there. But actually, wait a minute. There's not that many High Templar in this army for some reason. One storm even not going to go off. Okay, that one is going to go off. And despite what I said, I didn't realize actually how weak the Protoss army was. For some reason, he just had no High Templar with his army. It's very puzzling to me. He's at 172 supply against 112, and yet for some reason his army is tiny. I don't know where all his supply is. He just has a million probes or something. He must have way too many probes here. That's my only explanation for why he has such high supply and so few units. I guess he built too many cannons as well. But technically he's just going to expand again. He's going up to 5 bases against a 4-base Protoss. Sorry, 4-base Zerg, excuse me. Finally building a couple additional gateways. But this is actually kind of madness. And I don't know why Assault isn't scouting this. He's got Overlord in a position that should be going up there to see it. But see, he's going there now, and it's far too late. I mean, this is really the punishment for Zerg not scouting those bases. I mean, there's no reason not to scout it. One Zergling, one Overlord at each base, so cheap. I mean, you're making Overlords anyway, so just put them at the bases. I mean, the Protoss even lost his Corsairs very early on, so it's not even like you're scared of losing a bunch of Overlords to Corsairs. No reason not to have Overlords scouting all those bases. And now he's really going to pay the price here. And looks like TechnicS finally moved down with a few more High Templar. Gonna move up here, even though he's fighting uphill. It doesn't really matter. The muta's moving in, gonna try and snipe some of these High Templar. He is gonna get a couple. It looks like maybe not really killing them very fast. High Templar also just like running around willy-nilly, so he is actually gonna get all 4 of them. But TechnicS actually was backing a lot of gas anyway, so he probably doesn't care. And now he's going up to his Reaver Tech. Still no signs of a hive yet from Assault. Again, man, his drone count is just really, really not good. He hasn't even been harassed that much. There was the one good Zealot drop early on in the main, but other than that, not really significant harass, and yet still not a very good drone count. I'm a little bit surprised by that. If you're going to play this kind of turtley 4-base style initially, you should really have a much better saturation. But Assault seemed to play it in a weird way, where he actually went Hydras pretty quickly anyway, which I'm not sure why he did. I mean, it turned out okay when TechnicS sacrificed that army. But anyway, it looks like TechnicS can get pushed back here again without High Templars. He can't really engage here. TechnicS keeps throwing away these units and having to run away because he doesn't have High Templar. It's a little bit weird. Okay, looks like he's bringing a few more in the back. He's got 3 Archons there as well, which will obviously help a lot against these mutas. And here we go. Oh man, the mutas have to be careful not to take any Archon hits. They're still taking plenty of damage from the Dragoons. But in the meantime, I mean, TechnicS just has a huge economic advantage right now. And, not looking so hot for Assault. At least Assault has a slight upgrade advantage. He's at 2-1 against just 2-0. I don't think he actually did he make use of the triple Evo? No, he didn't actually get melee, so there's actually no point for him having 3 Evo chambers, but that's alright. He's actually getting melee attack now. I'm not sure why he'd get melee attack if he's not even starting to go to Hive. Oh no, he does have a Queen's Nest. No Hive just yet. I think he wants to go to Hive. He's obviously staying on lair tech. You only go Hydra Lurker, so the melee attack doesn't really make sense. It looks like he is thinking about going to Hive, but he's having a little bit of a difficult time getting there. Taking mutas. Doing what they can, gonna slap a couple of High Templar here, which is not bad. Oh, they should make an Archon. Oh, not gonna do it though. And it looks like TechnicS has mined out his main as natural, so he's back on 3 bases, but that's still completely fine. He's actually just gonna take 9 o'clock. He's also max now. And again, the army looks slightly small. I mean, he's got a decent number of units. Not that many High Templar. For a max army, I don't know, it's kind of reasonable. Oh man, but the Assault is just not storm dodging. Oh man, alright, he's doing a little bit of storm dodging here and there. Actually, that's not terrible. But there's just way too many Protoss units. And oh man, 3 DTs in the mix as well, just doing massive damage to the Hydras. A couple of observers just like get stormed to death there, but it doesn't really matter. Assault's getting wiped out here in the middle of the map, down to 75 supply. It's 184, and GG from Assault. TechnicS takes it down with his off race like a boss. Oh man. TechnicS. This is too good. He's too strong. Alright. So that means we're going on to the second match. It's going to be a ZVT between Malkia and Cryok. Right after the break.